The land is our foundation, and Land Synergy is here to solidify and restore. Join us as we connect the dots of land restoration, sustainable practices, and self-sufficiency. It's time to get rooted.
Welcome back to Land Synergy. Rising to all my fellow land synergizers. Today we're talking about a simple insight that we have gathered that has shifted our perspective for the better. It's expanded. So with that, let's go ahead and dive in. So today, guys, I wanted to talk to you about permaculture in the sense of letting things grow and understanding the long picture. Also, I'm in the woods, so excuse any loud insects. I believe cicadas have been coming into fruition. So, okay, there's an area that I've decided to not mow, right? On our homestead, there's a circular patch, and I initially decided not to grow it from, not selfish, but definitely self-interested perspective. I was really interested in milk thistle. The milk thistle started growing, and I decided to leave this whole patch alone. It was probably about a good 10 by 10 foot area, circular, and just letting this area grow. And so dill started to come up, wild lettuce, clover, a whole host of plants came into fruition. And from this process of just letting this grow, I came to see that as we move forward, guys, synergizing the land is not just synergizing the land from the perspective of benefiting us, but benefiting all of the land, all of life. And from that process, guys, literally, I watched different butterflies and insects come into fruition, or not even fruition, but to come to life and to use these plants as a source of nutrition, as a home, etc. You know, one specifically, there was a butterfly, and I did a little bit of research, and they actually need certain plants in order to survive. And it just hit me, wow, something as simple as leaving this patch to just grow and do its thing. And honestly, guys, if I'm gonna upload a picture, I'm gonna take some pictures and I'm gonna save it so we can upload it to the website. This patch has literally changed my perspective in so many regards, not just for the betterment of the land, but also the life, just seeing the different life that comes to it. And so what I implore you to do, not even to do, but to be aware of as you move forward, what areas of your homestead or your land or your house or wherever you're at can you leave alone so that it can come in fruition completely? Because see, the land doesn't need anything to heal. What it needs is to be left alone to its own devices. Every plant that has fruited and come to life in that specific spot that I'm referencing today has did it on its own accord. And when it dies, it will be given back to the soil, and it's a process that will build on itself. There's also another area in the front of the homestead. I cut the grass, and then there's a patch. Beginning of the season, I decided to not mow half the grass. The reason being, we really didn't walk in it, and we weren't using it. So I just decided to just let it grow, let it be. And it didn't look crazy, but that wasn't my issue. I didn't care how it looked. But I decided to just let it grow. And guys, when I tell you it was a bee sanctuary, it was so many bees. Literally, I wouldn't say hundreds, but it was definitely close from the front and the back. What I would do is I'd cut the grass and leave the clover patches. Leave the clover patches to grow. And this, man, just to see the simple act of awareness and simply not cutting things down, how this could expand and synergize the land. Because those bees, we got some cucumbers and tomatoes growing. And we spoke about that in a previous episode. You know, the bees and all these plants, they play, insects, they play a huge role in the life of your plants, guys. And not even that, but the whole of the land. And as we move forward, we can start to see that we just need to step back and let it be. You know, right now I'm standing in the woods. I truly love being in the woods, guys. This is my sanctuary. And I'm looking at this piece of wood that's literally rotted back into the ground. It's like really, really, really punky. Like half of it is soil, the other half is just completely broken down. And that right there, guys, has played a crucial role. Like from the insects, the microbial life, it's a process of give and take. And that's what today's message is all about. Give back to the land through letting it be. That patch in the front of the homestead, I'm actually not even gonna cut it, just because I know within the wintertime it's a place that insects can go to lay eggs and to have a place. And this is important, guys, because there's certain insects that can't survive in the woods. Like they need certain plants. And I feel like it's not about, us or them. It's about us creating pockets. Throughout the homestead, there's pockets of areas that I've intentionally left alone and that has expansively and jubilantly, like, what's the word for vigorously? They've been vigorously growing, but not in a way that has been offensive or invasive to the homestead, because it's all about incorporation, not exclusion or excluding. I don't know where exclusion came from, but it's not about excluding. It's about incorporating. And so as we move forward on our journey of synergizing the land, just be aware of that, guys. What pockets of your land can you allow to intentionally grow? And then as you develop relationships with these plants, like milk thistle, there's some lamb's quarters that's growing in front of our compost. 3 beautiful big plants. Beautiful. This is wild spinach. It's actually 10, no, is it 10 or was it? I do know it's a multiple times more nutritious than conventional spinach. And that should come as no surprise, as I'm sure anyone who's listening to this, we're tuned in on the land, so to speak. And so we're aware of the just how the plants need, like, the plants, it's not about putting it in the ground and it growing. It's a system from the water, the rain. It's a whole system that goes into this. And so any wild counterparts that you can find, think about it. For it to be planted by itself and go through the vigorous trials of growing from, it's not like plants or wild spinach that has human intervention. Spinach couldn't grow in the wild. But you got lamb's quarters. That's so powerful, man. You look at this plant. Look it up if you can. I love it. It is one of my favorite plants. You can eat a leaf straight off the plant. It's delicious. It's amazing. Great way to incorporate it into your diet. Here's my point. That's something that I'm and us as a family, we're working on incorporating into our homestead, is letting these pockets grow intentionally. Now, I don't need to have a direct use for every plant that grows. No, some of it might just be for the butterflies, the bees, or the insects, right? It's not just about us, remember, it's about we. And so with that, the lamb's quarters, the milk thistle, some of the wild lettuce that we use for its opium-like qualities. And when I say opium, I mean healing properties. The white sap that comes from the wild lettuce. My children, they get a cut or insect bite or any type of cut or anything like that. Boom! I showed them how to cut the plant. Use the white sap. The white sap is a great antiseptic, antimicrobial. It's all that good stuff, and it can heal the body. That cut. And so the point is, guys, incorporating all that in, and then letting it be. See, I plant the milk thistle, the lamb's quarters. I don't got to worry about it. It's just there. And gosh, how refreshing is it to come out on your property and it's a living. It's not like you are farming the whole thing. Part of it, you're just letting it be, and you come and connect with it. See, permaculture is amazing, guys, because it allows us to tune in, and it allows us to exponentially grow. With each year that you plant these things, it gets stronger, and you allow them to just be. You allow them to just be. You don't have to keep farming and planting and doing all that stuff. With each year, it gets stronger. So that's today's insight for today, guys. Simply, where can you allow your homestead, your property, your area to just breathe and be so that it can come into fruition completely? And then go as far as learning the plants that are coming into fruition and how you can incorporate it into your diet, into your medicine cabinet, into the landscape as far as helping the other life forms. Understanding where the butterflies and the monarchs and all the other life forms plant their eggs, and becoming a part of that process, because when you notice the subtleties, wow, do you start to appreciate so much more, so much more.